stuff like
That'd be accurate.
speaking of the Gen 4s, like that would melt their I'm surprised like their brains aren't melted, like especially with now like as we get into this Gen 5 era where it's like Daima post this and it's like there's so much stuff happening in this small little time frame, right? Where it's like, okay, what happens first? What happens now? And then people worry about canon so much, so they're not even they worry about canon more than they actually do the story, which is crazy to me. They're like, what actually happened here? Did Goku go to the demon world? Did Pan fight against the Red Ribbon Army? Like, what's happened? I could see how someone would get like so confused they wouldn't even start. It's like it has the One Piece problem, right? Where it's so many episodes, so much content, where you're just like, why even start? You know, because Oda's not even finished. You think you're gonna fucking finish? Get the fuck out of here, you know? So it's like, why even start this series if it's like this jam-packed, especially like with everything. There's this 10-year gap of peace has the most violence and most chaos that Dragon Ball's ever seen in its entirety.
Right.
Which is funny.
You're right. It's not peace, bro. And the thing is, it would have been different if the entire series took place in a different place. And most of Super does. That's the thing. Battle of Gods is on Earth. That's fine. Resurrection F is on Earth, though. Then the Universe 6 tournament's not on Earth. Future Trunks arc is in the future mostly. And Tournament of Power is not on Earth. But then the Moral arc is on Earth. And so is the Broly movie. And so is Superhero. So there ain't no peace. It was fine at first, but that's been thrown out the window, bro.
So it's like, how do you even put yourself, like try to like, put yourself in the mind of a kid growing up, especially today, like post Toriyama, where you see Daima and then you see SS4, but you're like, wait a minute, they already did that. And you're just like, wait, what's going on? It's like, some of this stuff just won't make sense. Like, especially now, it's getting more and more convoluted because they love just going back to the nostalgia. And like I said, like with the 30-year rule, GT's hit that 30-year rule. Or now the kids who grew up with it in Japan have literally, as Akio Yoku said, they had their own kids, and now their kids are experiencing GT. So now is Dragon Ball Forever just going to be like, what, are they going to have the Kai freaking re-edit of Kai come back in like 30 years or something? Which, honestly, with the way this series...
Well, they do need to readapt the manga from the beginning, but that's not going to be a Kai thing. They used to be doing it all over again, like, animating it all over again. I don't know, man, but that is something that needs to happen someday. I kept thinking for the 50th anniversary, they should go in and just start from the very beginning again with new animators and animate all of the original 42 volumes. That would be cool. Under one name, not Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball, the full story. That's what needs to happen at some point, because now that Toriyama's gone, I don't know what's going to happen in the future when it comes to content.
The funny thing is, they're very unpredictable with what they put out. It's like, you think they're going one way and then they go like a totally different way. It's like, how you think you're going to get new Dragon Ball, like a new Dragon Ball, but then they introduce Daima. And so like people think like, wait, why are they doing this? And it's almost like they introduce things that you think people would like too. Okay, fusion bugs, all this stuff doesn't get paid off. Oh, okay. And then people just sit around like, oh, okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, but the thing is, it's just, like, I don't know how people, like, I think it's the same way you feel about wrestling. It's like, how is anyone going to get into this show at this point when it's just so, like, out of control? Like, the way wrestling is, like, it's one big ad now. Like, things, it's just like...
You have to start at the beginning, bro. That's it, you know? That's what I think. It's the only way, right?
Really, it really is. But, like, I guess that's, like, pretty much all the generations covered.
Bro, I got into Sopranos this year for the first... No, yeah, it was this year. And that's an old show that came out in 98. I got into Sopranos now, and I started at season 1 because that's where you start. Why would I start at later seasons? And that's why I don't like when fans are like, oh, if you're going to get into JoJo's, you can skip part 1. What the fuck?
Or like with the Super argument.
You can skip OG Dragon Ball and go to Z. Like, no, what the fuck? No, that's not how it's meant to be.
That's what I'm saying.
Start at the beginning, you fuck. I'm just saying, bro, that shit gets on my nerves. You know,
I feel the same way.
We're gonna start at season 3. What? Dragon Ball Z is like season. If you're gonna break Dragon Ball up into arcs or seasons, Dragon Ball Z is like season 4 or 5.
Yeah, and it's the same.
Why would you start in the?
It's the same argument
Okay,
people use like when they evaluate Dragon Ball Super too. Like, oh, just skip the first 27 episodes because that's really when the show starts.
Okay, that's different. No. I agree with that because they're just retellings of movies. Just watch the movies. Fuck those episodes.
No,
that's different.
I'm talking about their
agree with
analyses.
skipping.
Their analyses of the show, like because when you analyze Dragon Ball Super as a series, as a like from episode 1 to 131.
Yeah, the first 2 arcs make it worse than it actually is.
Exactly. I'm just like they anchor
I
it
should
down.
not have to start at episode 28.
Exactly. Same thing with like Funimation. Why start at episode 16 of GT? That's ridiculous.
A grand problem.
And I think that makes it
was what
even
was called.
it makes it even worse because now you have even less information going into the series, you know? But
Did you know that Cartoon Network, you probably didn't know this.
Yeah.
You know they fucked up and never aired the real episode 16 of GT?
of course, I didn't know that, but damn.
So when GT aired on Cartoon Network, they started with a dub-only episode called A Grand Problem, which is a recap of the first 16 episodes of GT. But what happened was they aired episode 16. No, not 16. A Grand Problem is a dub-only episode that catches you up to what's been going on in GT, so they can start there.
Yeah.
So they started with that, and then they all the way to the end of the series. Then they aired the lost episodes because they called it the lost episodes. And when they aired the lost episodes, they only aired 1 through 15. They didn't air the actual episode 16 because Cartoon Network thought that A Grand Problem was the real episode 16. So the real GT episode 16 did not air on Toonami the first run, bro. That's what happens when you do stupid shit like that.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, man.
It's the same thing with Nicktoons getting GT before the Boo Saga.
That
You're just
pisses
gonna
me off.
confuse people.
Brand new podcast coming on the 24th of December. That's right, Christmas Eve. The 5 Generations of Dragon Ball with Geekdom 101. You don't want to miss it.